So it's officially hoodie season, and I'm excited. Not only because I love fall, I always get hot. I don't do well in heat. I'm like a dog, I overheat, so I love the cold season. But on top of that, I'm dieting now, which means I'm gonna be low on carbs, which means I'm gonna flatten way out and not even look like I lift. I'm gonna look small, like a little runt. So I'm gonna be hiding away in these hoodies, and I'm kind of excited for it. So I'm feeling great today. This is the start of my first real uninterrupted week back. Like I said in the last video, no more traveling. Like I also said in the last video, I'm having that hip issue. So right now, working on getting my numbers up for powerlifting is kind of on hold. So what we're doing is we're actually changing our entire lifting split up today. And starting today, I'm going back to push, pull, legs, repeat, which was one of my favorite pure bodybuilding splits there was. Now I want to make it clear, when you're doing powerlifting, if you're incorporating the bodybuilding stuff on top of powerlifting, then that's gonna make amazing gains for you. I saw some of the best thickness, muscle-wise, accomplished through powerlifting. Obviously, I just can't do my full powerlifting program right now because of my hip. So we're just kind of revamping it and making a little bit of a change. It's basically just reorganizing the way I train. Still gonna be focusing on the big 3 lifts at the beginning of every single workout. You know, bench press, squats, deadlifts, or whatever. Whenever I can deadlift and squat again. But yeah, I'm excited for it. So today I'm feeling very revitalized. I'm feeling mentally energized. And you know what's interesting is I've been reading a lot of the comments, and obviously the comments are very, very nasty into my videos, right? The hate seems to be extra intense these days on YouTube. Not just for myself, for everybody. It's really strange. I don't know what's going on in this industry. But anyway, I was reading a bunch of comments, and I get a ton of trolls on a ton of different subjects, right? You know, I get told, people assume my financial situation all the time. They assume what's going on they know what's going on behind closed doors. Any aspect of your life, people love to make assumptions on, and that stuff doesn't really bother me. But the one comment, or the one type of comment that does kind of get to me a little bit, I'll admit, is the comment saying that this channel is no longer motivational. What is this channel even here for? You look like crap after this many years of training. You don't have V-taper, good shoulders, good waist, whatever. You know, all the insults on my physique and the progress I've made and not being motivating. And I think the reason that gets to me is simply because there's some truth in it. I can admit that. I think we only get bothered by the things that have a little bit of truth in them. Otherwise, like if someone says something to us that's completely asinine and out of there, it doesn't bother us, right? So I've accepted the fact that I'm not happy with where my physique's at. And in doing so, it's allowed me to be honest with myself, come to terms with that, and then become excited to change that. Become excited to transform my entire body. And in doing so, bring something for you guys to really watch and follow on this channel. So I'm excited for the next few months. You know, no plans have changed. I've been cutting, like I've said, but I'm just really extra excited for the next few months to just stay hidden away in the hoodie and beat the hell out of myself, physically and mentally, until my body is transformed. So with that said, it's time to go to the gym and pick things up and put them down with a slow, controlled tempo. So we're keeping the bench press portion the same as Josh Hancock's programming. So we're starting the cycle over again. Lightweight, high reps, gonna rebuild. That part of strength training has not changed. So today we're doing 3 sets of 12. There's supposed to be 3 sets of 12 paused. I threw it in a paused set, but I just kept most of them tap and go. I just felt like switching it up. So now we're gonna move on to my variation of the workout. As super badass as the hoodie may look, the hood's only up so it's not bunching up behind my head when I press. I'm not wearing the hood as a fashion statement. So now we're moving on to incline dumbbell pressing. Doing the high reps to sets of 12 is always a shock. It's not something I'm used to. So it really shocks you and makes you jelly and fatigued. So after that, you need extra focus to do everything else following it. But I like a challenge. So moving on to incline dumbbell pressing, working on the good negative, a good squeeze at the top, really trying to focus on the upper chest. Doing about 3 sets of 10 reps. Did the first couple of sets with 80 pounds or 85 pounds. And then the last set, I dropped it down a little bit lighter to really focus on super good contraction. No problem. Been there a million times. So as I mentioned before, the decline hammer strength is probably my favorite chest machine there is, because it's obviously a full pressing movement, but the motion also kind of mimics a fly motion a little bit. So you get that fly contraction in there along with the pressing. And it just feels really, really good. I feel like you can target the chest amazingly. Obviously, decline position activates the most fibers in the pectorals, so it's a win-win all around. I will do typically 3 to 5 sets of around 10 reps with this machine. Typically, I'll start off with 3 plates. Depending how I feel that day, I might keep it at 3 plates for sets of 10, or I might go up to 4 plates and do 3 sets of 8 and 4 plates. Today, we just pyramided up to 4 plates and then proceeded to do a big drop set down. So switched it up, had a little bit of fun. So arms are obviously a dominant part, so I don't put an insane amount of focus on them. I just make sure I target them once a week. You can never have too big of arms. And some people will say stop training arms if they overpower your chest, work on just chest. But in all actuality, I'm not that big in general. So if you stop training arms that are barely 18 inches when they're pumped, you're gonna end up having small arms on top of a small chest. So my theory is don't over focus on the arms, but keep them activated, keep them alive, and then obviously overly focus on the lagging points like the chest. So just do 2 sets of tricep pushdowns, 2 sets of kickbacks, because keep in mind tricep training is important for bench strength as well, and then move on to shoulders. So I don't really do much overhead pressing because I do so much pressing in general. My front delts, it becomes easy for them to become overdeveloped, especially when rear delts are a weak point. So I let my front delts get targeted and all the pressing I already do, and then just focus on side and rear. As crucial as slow, controlled, and proper form is when working on a weak point, especially a smaller muscle group like your side delts, keep in mind that overload is the key to overall muscle growth. So it is important to get some heavier weight in there as well for the sake of overload. So I'll do 3 sets of 12 with strict form, seated, using the 25 and 35 pound dumbbells, and then I'll end it with a 4th set standing, and I'll use this set as a drop set, beginning with really heavy weight, 45 pounds or so, which is heavy for me, especially at the end of a workout. I'm pretty gassed.
And I'll usually only get like 6 to 8 reps with the 45s. But then I'll drop all the way down to the 20s, and I'll do a full burnout and get as many as I can with the 20-pound dumbbells. Now, keep in mind, going to failure is not good to do with most of your primary lifts. I did it a couple of times today with the pressing, but that was just today to switch it up and have a little bit of fun. Normally, I'll avoid failure. But when it comes to the smaller, lighter exercises like these, a burnout set isn't as bad because it's not going to kill your CNS like bench will. I've gone over this exercise before and fairly recently too, but in case you're just tuning into the channel, welcome. Hope you subscribe. This is the standing wide gripped upright row. And these, unlike the close grip upright row, which is meant to hit traps, are actually meant to target your rear and side delts quite nicely. You want to stand with a slight bend at your hips, so your torso is leaning forward ever so slightly. Row the bar just up to your xiphoid process, just below your chest. And the whole time you want to keep your elbows pushed as far in front of you as possible. And it's really going to activate the rear delts and the side delts quite nicely. I do about 3 sets of 10 to 12 with that. And then top the whole workout off with 5 sets of 10 bent lateral raises for rear delts.
So these finally came in. It's been a long time since I've seen these boxes, but I missed them. Brand new Anis, as nature intended. I wanted the high tops. I was looking to re-up on the high tops, but they're out of stock right now. I think they'll be restocked soon in a couple of weeks. Obviously, I love my high tops. Apparently, everyone else does too because they're out of stock. So in the meantime, I re-upped on their slip-ons and their low tops, which are not bad at all. And as far as functionality goes for deadlifting, they all work just the same as each other because they're all the same design. They're all 4mm soles. So in case you guys are like new to the channel or something, these are the shoes, the only shoes I will deadlift in. They're super thin. They're a 4mm thin sole, so they feel like having socks on your feet. They're actually designed as barefoot shoes, like those 5-finger toe shoes. But they're meant to be barefoot shoes with the function of barefoot shoes, but the look of an actual real shoe. So you can walk around with these on in public and you look like you have a normal shoe on. They kind of almost look like a Vans. At least the low tops do. The high tops look kind of like Nike 6.0s. I like them. You want to be sealed to the ground when you deadlift. You don't want any space between your foot and that ground. So even like a Chuck Taylor has like a good 1/2-inch thick sole. You got to figure that's like being on a 1/2-inch deficit right there. It's gonna make it that much harder. Ming is over here deadlifting on a 1/2-inch deficit every time he deadlifts. So yeah, these are Anis. The link is in the info box below. You can use NWB as a discount code for these, and it'll take, I think, like 15% off, or 10 or 20%. It'll help you save money on these, and they're not expensive to begin with, so.